This week, I want to talk to you about the 6 boundary truths that homeschool moms often overlook. I know we often experience these things. People don't always associate these experiences with boundary challenges, but I encourage you to stay tuned and ask yourself, do these relate to me? Do I resonate with these? If we haven't already met, I'm Teresa. I am the certified life coach here in the Homeschool Mama support group. I'm so glad you're tuning in today live, but if you're watching on the replay, you can watch it here for, I think on Facebook, it's like a couple of weeks now, they'll leave the recording, but you can always find me over on my YouTube channel, the Homeschool Mom Wellness and Mindset channel. So that will be there probably by the end of the day. Okay. So I noticed that the flip of boundaries, the other side of the coin for boundaries, is a strong sense of self. You being really clear on who you are and who you aren't. And why does that matter? Because that directly connects to how sustainable your homeschool life will be. Or put another way, if you don't address your boundary challenges, if you don't address the needs you have or the relationships that aren't quite syncing, if you don't address those things, you probably won't do this full-time homeschool mom thing for a long time. Or you'll burn out suddenly, unexpectedly, and hardly. Oh, I can tell you stories. And of course, I can tell you my own story. But I can tell you so many stories. I have the privilege of being with other moms, one-on-one coaching. And I really wish I had that experience way back when, because I thought I was alone in the experiences that I am listening and hearing other moms share with me. And because so many homeschool moms are sharing very similar concepts or thoughts or experiences, I realize you're really not alone if you're experiencing something challenging. And I joke, but I actually don't joke, that if you're not having challenges, then you're alone. Okay? We'll just let that sit. So here are the 6 boundary truths that we don't hear enough. So I've written them down. I have already written a post on this on my website, Capturing the Charmed Life. And here, very simply, are the 6 boundary truths. 1 is that your feelings are messengers for you. They're not your enemies. They can serve you, no matter what they are. The good ones, the bad ones, or if you want to put it into today's language, the ones that feel great, the ones that make you feel alive and energized and satisfied, and the ones that feel alarming and uncomfortable. All of your feelings are useful for you. They are messengers. They are not enemies. So we've been taught to push aside our emotions. Most of us. Some of us get the training, but most of us didn't. We get taught to put our emotions aside, especially as moms. We don't have time for them. We have so many things on our plate. We do not have time to address what's going on in here. And so we do. We power through. And then when we do that, they are showing us that we need to attend to something. They are signposts for us. They need tending, but we ignore them. That's a boundary reality of the homeschool mom life. You cannot ignore your messengers. You have to address your feelings. It also happens to be one of the most common conversation points I have in coaching. The second boundary truth is that you are allowed to want things for yourself. Your needs don't disappear because you're a mom. I just had a conversation with a mom, you know who you are, who said to me that I want to shed the guilt, the feelings of I want something else or something more than just to homeschool my kids. If that's you, you're not alone either. In fact, this discussion point is even less discussed in public because we know it makes us sound like we're ungrateful for the experience of homeschooling, or we don't like our kids, or we aren't mother enough. We should be more present and available to them all the time, or you fill in the blank. But certainly the notion that we actually want something outside of our relationship to our children, it's not typically affirmed. We're supposed to be a martyr for our children, right? So wanting quiet or wanting creativity or just wanting space, it doesn't make you selfish. It makes you a human. So the third boundary truth is that resentment is a cue to check your yes. If you're feeling resentful, if you're feeling bitter, if you're just feeling agitated that nobody's taking care of your needs and addressing what you want, then you might have said yes too many times when your body or soul actually meant no. You have to care about what this part is saying, so you have to listen to it. The fourth thing is you teach your kids how to trust you by how you treat yourself. They're watching how we care for ourselves, subconsciously, consciously, but they are. They are not just hearing our words. You know it, I know it. They actually are listening to how we are showing up. The fifth thing is self-sacrifice isn't the same as love. Somehow it feels hardwired inside of us as mothers that we are supposed to sacrifice for our kids. And I mean, I can tell you not to do it, but I know you're going to do it anyways because it's what we do. And I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, of course, but right on cue, lightning strikes, thunder strikes. It might not be a bad thing, but man, can it create trouble. It can create trouble. Self-sacrifice is not the same as love. Giving all of yourself to everyone else doesn't always come from love. Sometimes it comes from fear. Like you're afraid that you're not going to do right by your kids, or you're afraid that you're not going to do things right or good enough. Or you fill in the blank, because there's probably a lot of answers for that. But self-sacrifice isn't the same as love. You don't have to earn rest. That is the sixth boundary truth. You don't have to explain why you need a nap or why you need quiet or a space or something. You can take it. You don't need to get to the place of being exhausted in your homeschool mom life before you take a break. You deserve to take a break. We are doing something that is 24/7 for possibly 2 decades or more. Nobody can show up consistently, continuously, all the time for other people emotionally and in all the ways that we show up without taking a break. Oh, some people try. Oh, I definitely did. It doesn't work. Okay, so if this resonates with you, these conversation points, these 6 boundary truths that homeschool moms often overlook, then consider starting by unpacking those things or unraveling those things by grabbing the You Be You checklist or Become More You checklist. How can I phrase it? My goal is to help you to show up intentionally, on purpose, you being the fullest you in your homeschool, in your mom life, in all of your life. And if you want that checklist, it's a really beautiful way to get started on this conversation for you. And just ask for it, and I'll drop the link below. It can be your first step back to yourself. And if you're craving community, or you want to do this alongside other people, come join us inside the homeschool or the Confident Homeschool Mom Collective. Every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific, we join together to have some pretty deep conversations. I don't know anywhere else on the internet that has this kind of group, this kind of potential for connection, authentic connection, where we accept you being just who you are. You can believe what you believe. You can homeschool the way you homeschool. You can have different issues, concerns. You can be with people that may not think exactly like you, but man, will they support you. They are right behind you. It's a lovely place to be. Wish I had that group when I was homeschooling at that stage. So this is where we have conversations just like these every week with women who are deciding to grow and homeschooling right alongside you. So ask me for that link, or maybe I'll just put it in the comment section below. Also, I created a Rediscovering You journaling workbook. It's a companion for you in your morning routine to look into all these challenges and say, what's really going on there? It's a gentle way for you to come back to yourself, a way to explore. It can be your mirror. If you haven't explored journaling already, journaling acts like a mirror. It helps you to get clear on what's going on in here. So in the work that I do with homeschool moms, these are the kinds of conversations we're having. rediscovering who she is under the homeschool or mom role, working through burnout and emotional overload, creating rhythms that feel sustainable, that are sustainable, building confidence in how you homeschool, and giving yourself full permission to become. That's possibly my most favorite word, become or becoming. I love that. If that's you and you want to take it to the next step and you're like, you know what, I would just like to go on a deep dive, self-exploration to figure out who I am and what I really want, and I don't want to feel guilty, and I don't want to continue to shirk me. I want to have a seat at the homeschool table too. Then ask me for my booking link and you can join me in a conversation where you can learn more about coaching, and you can learn more importantly, about you and how we can do the next step for you to get clear on what really matters to you. If you haven't yet, listen to this week's Homeschool Mama Self-Care Podcast. The episode is all about morning affirmations for homeschool mom. These are not basic. These are meaningful. Like one of the moms in this group, who is a homeschool mom of one kiddo, had said to me one time, I read those affirmations and I cried, because I've never heard words spoken like that to me before. And I agree. I cried too. Really, if you read these, you'll know what I mean. Or if you listen to this episode, because they speak life, they speak confidence, they speak overcoming the hardest things in your life to show up intentionally in your homeschool mom life. They are words, but when you speak to yourself the truths, you begin to feel better about how you're showing up. And frankly, you choose to do better in how you show up because you know you can. They've helped me again and again. I actually created affirmation cards with these specific affirmations. They are on Etsy, or you can find them on my website as well, capturingthecharmedlife.com. And they're affirmation cards that you can keep like a card deck to remind yourself. Or you can just download my series of affirmations, which you'll also find on the show notes page to this episode. You can hear with all the things that I'm offering that my goal is to support you to shed what's not working, to show up authentically, confidently, and purposefully in your homeschool and mom life. And it's what I do. I can explain so many different people's stories, their journeys into greater confidence and to living with more presence. Sometimes it's about dealing with the emotional overload and being more patient, providing themselves with more bandwidth to do all the things that are the most important. But sometimes it's navigating relationships and figuring out how to show up in them, whether that's with kids or partners or parents, sometimes the grocery store clerk, but not usually. You know what I mean? And then there's conversations about school or homeschooling and what's the purpose of an education? And am I able to really give to my kids what they really need? Am I really giving an education to the child right in front of me? Or am I just doing homeschool like everybody else is doing it because that's what everybody's doing? Or because I have peer pressure from, you fill in the blank, from various people. So I'm here to enable you to shed what's not working so you can feel more confident, more clear, and more intentional. Oh, and before I forget, there is a year-end review next Wednesday, July 2nd, 10 a.m. Pacific to 12 p.m. Pacific. Here, possibly right here, where I'm going to help you look at your last year and say what worked, what didn't, how do I want to show up? I'm not feeling sustainable in how I'm doing this. I'm wondering if I'm going to give up or if I just don't have the energy to do it the way that I did it before. And now maybe you want to. Well, join me for that burnout prevention plan because we're going to create one and we're going to help you get clear on what your next steps are for your next year. So know this. Hey, Michelle, you don't have to do this homeschool thing alone. There are all these resources that I've shared with you today. You don't have to do it alone. You can join me in the collective, and Michelle. You can join me in the collective, or you can join me in one-on-one coaching to do a deep dive on these things. You can join me by grabbing that journaling workbook I shared, or the UBU checklist. Whatever resources would support you to shed what's not working so you can show up in your homeschool and your mom life authentically, confidently, and purposefully. You can homeschool your kids and you can honor your needs too. You are becoming. I hope this has resonated with you. Now I'm going to get out from whatever this is. Apparently it's going to rain. Thunder, lightning, probably should go inside. So thanks for being here, and I will see you next week here in the Homeschool Mama support group, or if you can't get the recording here, make sure you head over to my YouTube channel and watch it by the end of the week. I hope you have a beautiful week, and I'll talk to you soon.